Hey everybody, welcome to the last episode of Sentences That Sell, a retrospective look on the sales process, your go-to podcast on modern day selling and how to navigate the complex, ever-changing business environment. It's Pete Sinodinos again, Sino, and really in this episode, which is the final episode of this little series, I just want to summarize the entire sales process and how integrating each step leads to consistent success. Because really, when you think about modern day selling today, it's really evolved. There's so much stuff online. There's been a reduction of face-to-face selling because a lot of people care about their time and would potentially look at buying things online as opposed to visiting a store. And my comment has been, if somebody's in your store, god damn it, they're ready to buy, because 83% of customers make their decision at home, to buy, because they've researched and looked at stuff. And really, they're just looking for some reassurance and reinforcement that their sale is the right sale that they're going to make, or right purchase they're going to make. So that's why they're visiting you. So there's no way in the world you can stuff that up. Absolutely no way in the world, unless you actually really do stuff it up by saying something goofy. Because if a customer's made the effort to drive all the way to your store, present themselves to your store, and you're smiling at them, you know that they're ready to buy. So everything should be about, trial closing and making sure that you're reinforcing and supporting their decisions in terms of the purchase they want to make. But, there's a particular flow to a sale, and I guess understanding how each step from the initial approach to reinforcing the purchase, like we've talked about, is really, really critical. And I think delivering a smooth an effective sales journey for your client is really, really important. And part of that is staying flexible and being able to adapt your sales style to fit the modern informed customer. Now, I've talked hundreds and hundreds of times in the past to a lot of people about the mobile phone that the customer owns. Out of a world population of 8.2 billion, there are 7.2 billion mobile phones in circulation. That means 90% penetration rate. But funnily enough, there's only 66% of the world population that actually owns a mobile phone. So 34% of the population doesn't use a mobile phone at all or own one. Now, even except for America, where there's a penetration rate of 90%. So when you think about it, mobile phone proliferation is huge, and it means that the customer's more informed because they've got a little walking encyclopedia in their hand on product information and product knowledge, but more importantly, they can check pricing as well. So that's why being able to adapt your sales style to fit the modern informed customer is really, really critical. And you do that through lots of things. Like I said, if they're in their store, if they're in your store and you're facing them and you're looking at them smiling, those big eyes, and they're ready to go, right? And that's why if they make the sale with you because you haven't stuffed it up and it's all very, very positive, you need to start to think about what a post-sale relationship looks like and how you can keep that customer advocating on your behalf. Because remember, I've mentioned word of mouth. In the old days, one person would influence 4 that would influence 8. But today with social media, one person influences 130 that influences 16,900 through socials and all sorts of stuff. So it's really critical that besides understanding the flow of the sale, staying flexible and building long-term relationships, you really want to be continually learning and encouraging yourself to refine any techniques that you use based on your customer feedback, understanding customer trends, and understanding new technology so you can deliver some really great sales opportunities. And you really want to avoid a disjointed sales process. Could you imagine a salesperson who mixes up every part of the sales process? So you can imagine them saying, "Hi, nice to meet you. Before we start, can I offer you the deluxe model?" And the customer's saying, "Hey, wait, whoa. I haven't even told you what I'm looking for yet." And the salesperson says, "Oh, all right, what do you need? But first let me handle any objections you might have." "Do you have any objections yet?" "Well, yeah, I do have an objection," the customer says, "to this entire bloody conversation." So I guess the lesson is structure in the sales process is there for a reason, as I've mentioned before, and it steps you through a logical process that builds one step onto the next. Skipping around or mixing up that order creates confusion. not confidence. Now, you can go straight to a close after saying hello because somebody says, I've come in to buy that TV, can you wrap it up for me? And that's okay. And you might want to ask them a couple of questions as you're writing up the docket, but I think, they're far and few between those sort of opportunities. Now, when I think about modern day selling and how somebody's taken the modern day selling process and adapted it, it's got to be somebody like Jeff Bezos. I've read and written a lot about Jeff Bezos in my LinkedIn posts. But as the founder of Amazon, he really has revolutioned the modern selling by focusing on a total customer-centric approach. So his success has been built on, I guess, understanding the customer needs and offering them personalised recommendations. I guess there's seamless service from his websites. I've had seamless service from it, and Amazon continually reinforce the purchase with a frictionless returns policy. And I've tested it a couple of times when I've not been satisfied with products. So he's turned every part of the sales process from approach to post-purchase into a science, and he's benefiting from it. So really, I guess the lesson out of that for all of us is the best modern sales approach is one that's customer obsessed, ensuring really that every part of the journey from the first click to the final review is designed to delight the customer better than your competitors, quoting an old 2012 Good Guys strategy. Anyway, in summary, if I had to look at probably the top 8 people in the world that I think are really good at selling in one way, shape or form, or those people that represent certain elements of the sales process, well, I have to think about Dale Carnegie and his approach and greeting focus, where making a great first impression through really genuine interest in a customer is critical, like establishing rapport and making sure that the customer feels really comfortable. Jordan Belfont, qualifying, he would rapidly identify potential buyers with probing questions and strong persuasion techniques. He would really work hard to understand what they were all about. Steve Jobs got to be the standout for demonstration, creating compelling demonstrations that turn the product features into emotionally engaging benefits. Just look at Apple. It's a massive organisation, and you've got to say that Steve Jobs, through his ability to demonstrate well in the sales process, has really made that company just fly. And of course, the big ZZ, Zig Ziglar, who's the best at handling objections and treating objections as real opportunities to build trust and reinforce a product's value, takes the top tier. He was really a fantastic sales coach, but more importantly, just the way he could treat objections and turn the negativity into positivity as an opportunity was unbelievable. Grant Cardone, another great one, closing the sale, really using assertive closing techniques to confidently push you towards a final decision was what he was all about. And then when you talk about value-added services, Howard Schultz from Starbucks, really going beyond the product offering of just coffee by offering a rich emotional experience in terms of being able to sit in the restaurant, have a good coffee, but being called up by name, being able to have the choice to make the perfect cup of coffee for yourself through selection of the best ingredients, all those sorts of things where that value-added service that you still paid 100% for just went without saying and really solidified your loyalty and advocacy to his brand. Tony Hsieh, reinforcing the purchase through the Zappos shoe stores, he really ensured that the post-sale satisfaction by following our customers and offering exceptional service and returns and more customer foot care really put them on the map. And of course, I just mentioned Jeff Bezos before, who is a master in every part of the sales process by digitizing it and offering timeless and relentless focus on customer satisfaction and creating seamless experiences. So each one of these figures brings sort of a unique strength, as I said before, to the sales process. But I guess why this is so important is that The best salespeople know how to ask the right questions and truly listen to the answers from customers. Actively listening leads to better sales results and better performance. And this applies to every facet of every part of business you could think of. Even if you're not selling a product, but you're working in franchising, if you're working with other management team members, just being able to listen, just like a customer, builds trust, because customers and people want to feel like they've been heard. Active listening builds trust. It uncovers hidden needs. So if you've got a customer talking, they're going to tell you more about themselves just through conversation if you just shut up and listen, and they'll give you everything you need to deliver the best possible result for them. And it'll also help you tailor your pitch so you're more effective and you're more sincere in your approach with them. So the thing I've got to say is, instead of rushing to answer every question, take your time, listen, and then ask, can you tell me more about what you're looking for in a product like this? Just that one line itself encourages a customer to share deeper insights with you that you can use as a guide for the sale. So one last tip from Sino is that sometimes when you're listening to customers, it's good to really repeat back what customers have said in your own words. So for example, a good one that I've used in the past, so you're looking for something that's both high performance and easy to use. Does that sound right? Of course the customer's going to nod their heads. That technique shows that you're paying attention and ensuring that you're on the same page as them. So in this good old little book, Sentences That Sell for Commission Salespeople, Brushes Holdings Limited Training and Development Division, Panther really used to pound you on the major summary, from page 37 to 45. He would take you through the whole sales process. And what he would do is he'd drag people up from the audience and you'd do a role play and you'd literally read the script, but you'd decide whether you'd made up your mind to buy, or whether you're still sitting on the fence, or whatever it was. And it was just a really brilliant experience, because being inexperienced in life, I guess, and being inexperienced in the business world, being able to sell meant that you would be able to recognise lots and lots of different situations, even with superiors, peers, colleagues, and your own set of customers, especially when it came to closing the sale and asking for the deal. Things like the assumptive close, the minor point close, the alternative close, or the inducement or special opportunity close, or the direct close, or the summary close, or the fear of impending event close, or the balance sheet close, or the model choice close, or the order bank close, or the turnover close. There are just so many, the trial close. There are just so many focal points to make sure that you get it right. So that little book was brilliant, and it really fired me up and gave me an opportunity to really kick goals. But I've got to say, if you can get your hands on one from somewhere, that would be great. But I think, consider a lot of the stuff that I've talked about over the last 8 weeks with these podcasts about selling. Selling is not an overly complicated process. We only make it complicated. People make it more complicated than it should be. I think, in theory, if you practice a lot of the stuff that we've talked about in these podcasts and really focus on delivering quality and genuine interest in your customer, you cannot go wrong. You cannot miss out on opportunities with customers, because if you're really going out of your way to be the best version of yourself as a salesperson you can, you'll do all these things on what I call en route, automatically, because they're so ingrained in you that you don't even have to have a second thought about it. So I hope you found this interesting. For any people from Brushes, it may not be perfect like David Panther or anything like that, but I've got to say, that Sentences That Sell book, and I've got a picture of it, it's a bit dog-eared and a bit run down, has been a great little book to refer to every now and then. And it's one of those things where, if you can really master, you'll kick lots of goals. I guess I wanted to leave you with a couple of thoughts in this digital age where people are far and few between coming into store. But if they do, this is what I think you should consider. Every person that enters your store is a prospect. In fact, they're probably a customer ready to buy. Show you care that customers are really everything to every prospect. Don't prejudge them. Right? Don't make an assumption about whether they will or not. Just care about them. Number 3 is be positive in your approach. Show warmth, care, friendliness, and courtesy at all times. Number 4, make sure you establish rapport. Become a friendly consultant, not a typical salesperson. Number 5, pay full attention to your prospect, potential customer. Ask quality questions and listen carefully to the answers. Number 6 is listen for buying signals. Close the sale whenever appropriate. So just a reaffirmation that if you know there's an opportunity to close the sale, go for it. Number 7 is selling benefits. Benefits to your individual prospect, right? So make sure you always sell the benefits of the thing that they're buying, more so than anything else. It talks about the dominant emotional buying motive and satisfying that. Close the sale. Number 8, close the sale. You must genuinely want your prospect to enjoy the benefits of ownership. So that shows that there's a genuine partnership when it comes to making the sale. Complete the sale. Sell the necessary value-added items. That speaks volumes just in itself. Number 10, the last one. Prove your professionalism. Turn every prospect into a customer and every customer into an advocate. And every advocate into an ongoing client. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for listening. If you like this sort of stuff, just subscribe and like, and watch out for some of the other podcasts. I've got a really good one coming up with my mate Simon. We're going to talk about the Pinnacle program, which is a leadership program. Thanks for listening. Have a great time. And remember, sentences sell. But more importantly, people buy people. Then they buy product. Take it easy. Over and out. Bye for now.